A significant ice storm is poised to impact the Midwest and Northeast United States this week, potentially leading to hazardous travel conditions and widespread power outages. As we take a look into today's forecast, we'll explore the areas most at risk and what you need to do to prepare for this dangerous event. Today's forecast is here to give you the most up-to-date weather news, so let's get into it and take a look at the developing ice storm expected to affect regions from the Midwest to the Northeast, examining its potential path and the serious implications for millions of Americans. This morning, a developing low-pressure system over the plains is drawing in warm, moisture-laden air from the south. As this system advances eastward, it encounters a shallow layer of sub-freezing air near the surface, creating ideal conditions for freezing rain. The collision of these air masses is setting the stage for a significant ice event that could stretch from Des Moines, Iowa, through Chicago, Illinois, and into parts of the Northeast, including Syracuse, New York, and Burlington, Vermont. Meteorologists have been tracking this system for days, and the latest forecast models suggest that this storm could bring dangerous ice accumulation to large portions of the affected region. The risk of widespread power outages is increasing, and travel conditions are expected to become treacherous. Winter storms that produce significant ice accumulation are particularly dangerous because they impact nearly every aspect of daily life. From transportation to emergency response times, a major ice event can create complications that last for days. In addition to the ice storm, a major Arctic blast is sweeping across the northern plains, sending temperatures plummeting below zero in states like North Dakota, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. Wind chills are expected to dip as low as negative 40 degrees, creating life-threatening conditions for anyone exposed to the elements for too long. Meanwhile, on the West Coast, a separate storm system is bringing heavy rainfall and mountain snow to California, Oregon, and Washington. The Sierra Nevada range could see up to 3 feet of snow in higher elevations, while flooding remains a concern in lower-lying areas due to excessive precipitation. The southern U.S. is also facing its own challenges, with severe thunderstorms and potential tornado outbreaks expected in parts of Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. High winds and heavy rains could create dangerous travel conditions and localized flooding. Adding to the complexity of the situation, the jet stream is playing a crucial role in steering these multiple storm systems. A dip in the jet stream is allowing Arctic air to plunge farther south than usual, exacerbating winter weather conditions across a large portion of the country. This pattern has been persistent for weeks, leading to prolonged periods of extreme cold and increased storm activity. Climatologists are drawing comparisons between this event and other historic winter storms that have impacted the United States in past decades. For example, the infamous ice storm of 1998 crippled parts of the Northeast with up to 3 inches of ice, leaving millions without power for weeks. While this current storm may not reach the same severity, its widespread impact and potential for long-lasting damage cannot be ignored. Another key factor to watch is the rapid intensification of the storm system as it moves eastward. Some meteorologists are noting similarities between this setup and past northeasters, which have historically brought heavy snowfall, ice, and strong winds to the northeast. If the storm system deepens more than currently projected, its impact could extend even further, bringing blizzard conditions to parts of the interior Northeast and New England. Given the current trajectory, emergency management agencies are urging residents in the affected areas to prepare for possible disruptions. Local authorities have already begun pre-treating roads with salt and brine solutions, but the effectiveness of these treatments may be limited if freezing rain accumulates quickly. The next 48 hours will be critical in determining the full extent of this storm's impact. Stay tuned for the latest updates as we track this evolving situation. The primary concern today is the potential for accumulating ice on roadways, power lines, and trees. Even a thin glaze of ice can make travel treacherous, especially on bridges, overpasses, and untreated surfaces. Power outages are a significant risk, as ice accumulation can bring down power lines and tree limbs. In the past, similar ice storms have left tens of thousands of residents without electricity for extended periods. Areas that are heavily forested or have older infrastructure are at even greater risk for outages. In addition to the ice storm, other parts of the U.S. are dealing with their own weather hazards. The Southeast is experiencing a severe weather outbreak with multiple tornado warnings issued across parts of Alabama, Georgia, and the Carolinas. Some of these storms have already produced damaging winds and large hail, prompting emergency responses in several communities. Further west, the Rocky Mountains are bracing for another round of heavy snowfall, with blizzard conditions expected in parts of Montana, Wyoming, and Colorado. Travel through mountain passes will be nearly impossible over the next 48 hours due to whiteout conditions and rapidly accumulating snow. With freezing rain expected to intensify, emergency officials are advising people to avoid unnecessary travel, stock up on essentials, and have backup power sources available. Local governments have begun activating emergency response teams to clear roads, assist stranded drivers, and respond to infrastructure failures caused by falling ice-covered trees. The potential for black ice remains a severe threat, particularly during the early morning and late evening hours when temperatures are lowest. Drivers should exercise extreme caution, as black ice is nearly invisible but can cause sudden loss of control. Even experienced winter drivers may struggle with these conditions. Beyond road conditions, the risk of hypothermia and frostbite increases dramatically in areas experiencing extreme wind chills. For those needing to be outdoors, it is essential to dress in layers, covering exposed skin and limiting time spent in the cold. Authorities are also urging residents to check on elderly neighbors and those with mobility issues, as power outages could leave vulnerable individuals without heat for extended periods. Community shelters and warming stations are being prepared in case of widespread utility failures. As the week progresses, the storm is expected to continue its eastward movement. By Wednesday and Thursday, the ice threat may extend into parts of the Northeast, with potential impacts in cities such as Syracuse and Burlington. Forecast models present two primary scenarios. Stronger low-pressure system. In this scenario, a more robust low-pressure system remains dominant, leading to widespread freezing rain along the Interstate 90 corridor from the Midwest to the Northeast. This could result in significant ice accumulations and more extensive disruptions. Alternatively, in the second scenario, a weaker initial system may give way to a new coastal low forming along the East Coast. This would shift the ice threat primarily to New England, with areas like Syracuse and Burlington experiencing more snow than ice. Longer-range models indicate that an additional storm system could develop toward the end of the week, bringing even more precipitation to already affected regions. This could exacerbate existing travel difficulties and further strain emergency response teams. Given the uncertainty in the storm's exact track, it's crucial for residents in the potential impact zones to stay updated with the latest forecasts. Officials are closely monitoring any shifts in the storm's development, as even small changes in atmospheric conditions could significantly impact the severity and spread of icy conditions. Ice storms can be particularly challenging to prepare for due to their ability to impact power, roads, and essential services simultaneously. Here are some steps residents can take to stay safe. Prepare for extended power outages. In some cases, ice storms have left communities without power for up to a week. Consider investing in a backup generator and extra fuel. Be sure to stock up on extra supplies. Ensure you have plenty of non-perishable food, bottled water, flashlights, and batteries to last several days. Don't forget to secure your home. Ice buildup can cause trees and branches to fall onto roofs, vehicles, and power lines. Trim any overhanging limbs before the storm. Stay indoors. Ice storms make even short trips hazardous. Avoid going outside unless absolutely necessary. Drive with caution. If you must travel, drive slowly, increase following distances, and watch out for black ice. Prepare for alternative heating. If your home relies on electric heating, have blankets, hand warmers, and emergency heat sources ready. Stay updated. Regularly check weather alerts to stay informed about worsening conditions. And don't forget to help others. Check in on elderly neighbors and those with disabilities who may need extra assistance through these hostile weather conditions. By taking these precautions, residents can significantly reduce the risks associated with ice storms and stay safe during extreme winter weather. Thank you for tuning in to today's forecast. We provide daily updates to keep you informed about significant weather events across the United States. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and stay updated with the latest information. Stay safe and take the necessary precautions as this storm approaches. More weather updates will follow soon.